All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, call Laimla, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakak, Wadash, the bonds to the apostles and elders agree millstone, peace, and salutations to the elect. All right, so we got some news here that concerning the MOTB, which go into a little bit. And okay, so this one it says digital information world. It said the push for the micro chip manufacturing in the U.S., which as of late, this is from March of 2024 to March 2nd. So they've been pushing for this more and more manufacturing on a bigger scale throughout the whole country. All right, so last week the White House gave a 1.5 billion to Global Foundries, a company that make chips. It said this money is part of the 2022 CHIPS Act. The goal is to make more chips in the U.S. and improve how they are made. It says even though this money is available, two big chip companies in the U.S. have been delaying their plans to build more factories. This is because the urgent need for chips during the pandemic has decreased. Companies are not in a rush to build more factories right now. But now it's increasing. Right, so the Taiwan semiconductor manufacturer TSMC, a leading chip maker, said they'll start a new factory in Arizona 2025 instead of 2024. Another one will come in 27, 28, 9, 2026 as first plan. I'm gonna jump down. Looking at the bigger picture, it says the Chip Support Act supports all kind of chips, but the newest, most advanced ones are getting the most attention. Yeah, because that's the ones, the cutting edge, the ones that's gonna be put in the people. Right. It says so these chips are small as 5 nanometers and 3 nanometers are important for new gadgets and cars. Well, you're gonna become the gadget. It said they shall also help the U.S. become more self-reliant in technology because the other nations they had chip wars like in Taiwan and stuff like that. You know, the Chinese will fight back. You know, because they begin sanctions from these devils on certain things. So you know they're trying to become more reliant on their own infrastructure because America doesn't build shit no more. They get outsource everything. All right. So it's so I got a graphic. It says new micro C-HIP construction boom. So they got all these different factories being built throughout the whole like over here, North Carolina, Texas, what's this, Nebraska, New Mexico, Utah. What's that right there? Nevada, I think. Illinois, Ohio, New York, and over here in Massachusetts. Yeah, so all over the place. And these different companies, Texas Instruments, Samsung, but they're all part of the beast. They're all going to help to produce these factories. So okay, the next one it says a Newport micro C-HIP factory acquired in a $144 million pound deal. But I really brought this one up because of the 144 million pound deal with new U.S. Owners promising major expansion of the micro C-HIP factory. See, because it's funny because the 144, the elect shall be delivered. You know what I'm saying? The micro C-HIP has to come. You know, for the 144 to be, delivered. But it says that this deal that they struck was acquired in a 144 million pound deal with new U.S. Owners promising major expansion. So they got the picture of the plant in Newport, I believe that's Connecticut. It says I'm not sure. It says, let's see. It says 144 million pound takeover of Wales leading tech company has been finalized with its new American owners committing a 1 billion pound expansion. The UK's biggest micro CHIP plant at Newport, which has been trading as Nexperia Newport, was previously known as Newport Wafer, has been acquired by New York listed Vishay Intertechnology. Let's see. Oh, they're in Wales. Okay. Hey, so these American companies are buying up all the micro CHIP, the biggest producers, right? For the nefarious purpose of micro CHIP and the people. It says the faculty was put up for sale last year. Okay, whatever. Going down. So the American firm has said its plans to invest £1 billion into 200 million semiconductors over the next 3 years. Take advantage of the demand for semiconductor areas, which are electric vehicles, blah blah blah. Yeah, but we know what the real the real plans are, because it says what this is a good one. I got another one pulled up. It says Swiss researcher developed wearable micro CHIP that eliminates bodily privacy once and for all. It's a group of Swiss scientists from the author named Philip Schneider from the List News site. It says a group of Swiss scientists developed a wearable microchip which sits on the skin throughout the day and records hormone levels via sweat. The microchip measures levels of cortisol in the body and tells the wearer where they are experiencing too much stress, says the researchers. Yeah, because in Europe, America, they're all in on it. All right, in Europe, they're just as big as freaks over here, but eventually they're gonna turn on each other. The microchip, they're gonna put it in, then they're gonna turn on each other because they're all in on the same, But the beast shall hate the whore, burn her with fire. So they're gonna align themselves with America's enemies, and they're gonna burn America. But at the end of the day, they still believe in the same demonic things that these devils believe in, and they believe in putting a digital O in their people too. Exodus 21 and verse 1, it says, "Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy a Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. If he came by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him a son or daughter, the wife and her children shall be her masters, and he shall go out by himself." Or so if you came in with your wife and became his servant, you could leave with her. But if he gave it to you, if he gave her to you, the child and them belong to him. So if you want to keep that servant, if you want to keep them, you have to continue, but get an O, right? So it goes on to say, fifth verse, "If thy servant says plainly, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then his master shall bring him unto the judges, and he shall also bring him to the door and onto the doorpost. His master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. And if a man sells his daughter to be a maid servant, she shall not go out as a manservant do." Right. So, but the point right here, right? You're gonna bore a awl, I should say. And that servant ear shall serve him forever, and that's what this modern day awl is, which these people are developing different versions of it. It is the Swedish, March 1st, 2021, right? Fairly recent. So a few of these articles of 2020, but they've been had it, like in Michigan, right? It says Michigan passes controversial bill to microchip humans voluntarily to protect their privacy. And this was during the pandemic that they passed this one. So they already got the bills in and all. Even over there in the land, Netanyahu says Benjamin Netanyahu suggests microchip kids. Slammed by experts, says May 11th, 2020, right? From the Jerusalem Post, right? This is back then. They've been talking about microchip in the kids. Okay, they just ran clinical trials or human trials, which is Neuralink. I believe it was this year or last year. So they're already developing. So this is Netanyahu suggested that the health ministry use new technology to help Israel adjust to its new routine, as states was fighting with the Crown Vicky, right? So it said he spoke with the heads in technology in order to find good measures for Israel. Let me see where the quote is. It says, for instance, every person, every kid, I want it on kids first, would have a sensor that would sound an alarm when you get too close, like the ones in cars. Yeah, so he's talking about putting it on them kids. It would be hard to do it for more than 1 million school children. Right. So they was using that whole thing as a front, to as a trial run. But at the end of the day, right, this is their agenda, and they're gonna continue to push it. So right, the one in Michigan, it said Michigan passes controversial bill on July 5th, 2020, right, to microchip the humans voluntarily to protect their privacy. The Michigan House of Representatives has passed controversial bill to microchip humans voluntarily in the state under the guise of protecting their privacy. The Microchip Protection Act would allow Michigan employers to use microchipping of their workers with their consent. However, research has shown that RFID transponders cause cancer. Right? They cause cancer. Right? They develop a sore. It says Revelation chapter 16 and verse 1. It says, and I heard a great voice out the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your way, pour out your vials of the wrath of the Most High upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which had worshipped his image. All right, so it's nothing good that comes with which receiving. It says which had upon the men which had the mark of the beast. All right, so basically the men that have received it, they have they're gonna catch some type of sentences and shit, because anytime you insert, that's why Scripture says you make no cuttings in that flesh for the dead. Yeah, but you're not supposed to be making incisions. That's why drug use, you make hard drugs, you make incisions because the body is the temple. Henceforth, why you're not supposed to be hoeing around being a mo. You defile your body. Scripture say they burn in their lust one towards another. Romans 1:26 on down. It said they changed the natural use of the woman and worship the creature more than the creator. They're doing weird anal play, all kind of weird stuff. Then they're doing weird sex magic, like they were doing Sodom and Gomorrah. But now it's everywhere. So you got men with men, you got children, You know, they like touching children. Okay, so this is Leviticus 19 verse. This is the world we live in. That's why gonna burn with fire. Leviticus 19 verse 27. You shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shall thou mar the corners of thy beard. You shall not make cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you, nor prostitute thy daughter, or you cause her to be a whoreless, land for a whoredom, and the land come full of wickedness. When you read the law, it says if a man see a damsel in the field and he force her, and the woman cries out, then that's punishable, because we're betrothed. See, it says if a man find a betrothed, that's punishable by death, because you're trying to grape a man's woman. And Esau is trying to penetrate us with his micro C hip, and we're crying out. So the Lord said, set a mark upon the men, Ezekiel 9, the men that sigh and cry for the abomination that be done in the mystery. So you're sighing, crying because the devil trying to grape you. All right. And he's trying to get you to basically go off, commit adultery, be in bed with this devil. That's why it says a grievous sore, Revelation 16:2, fell upon the man that had the mark of the beast, all right, which they accepted this devil. You know what I'm saying? It went ahead and took his implantable device, which will be administered to the people in order to continue to live in the normalcy. So it said Deuteronomy 20:22 and 25. If a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lie with her shall die, shall be put to death. But unto the damsel that thou shalt do nothing, therein in the damsel is no sin worthy of death. For when a man rise against his neighbor and slayeth him, so is this matter. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. Right. So in our case, the Lord, saying he gonna come and save us for we're crying upon him, and that's the hope. Betrothed. So promise to marry, right? Promise to marry, right? Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 2, it says, I've likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. So, you're crying out for the abominations that be done in the mystery of. So this devil's trying to grape you, and you're supposed to cry out. It says, for he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. Right. So, we're the Lord's betrothed damsel, and you're crying out for, and you're warning, the people, right, not to take this oil, not to be seduced into receiving this thing, because this is the counsel of the wicked, Psalms 83. And they're gonna try to present this to you like a good thing, like it's some. This is a conspiracy. It says aspire a malicious plan, agreement together to commit a criminal or reprehensive act. This is against the law, right? Because we already have a husband, we're already espoused to one, and here comes this devil, and he wants to corrupt you, just like back in the garden. He wants to corrupt you, and the woman must make a better decision this time. So Psalms 83 and verse 2, it says, for thine enemies make a tumult, they that hate thee have lifted up the head, they have taken a crafty counsel against thy people, and they have consulted against thy hidden ones. They have in consultations against the children of Israel behind the scenes, conspiring, make up malicious plans to commit criminal acts, breathing together, right? Conspiracy, to coming together to push this micro-C hip. Sweden, they're making this thing. So they've been making this thing since. They've been having plans like this for many moons, man. I remember hearing stuff like this back in high school in the early 2010s. You know what I mean? So it's all over the place. It's just been going on, you know, and the culmination of this new world order is going to be this micro C hip. But the scripts say the triumvirate of the wicked is but for a moment, right? That's why they're passing all these little bills. It says the plan is to micro C hip humans. Back in the article about Michigan, right? It says it's the plan to micro C hip humans is sponsored by Republican Breonna Taylor under the guise of protecting the privacy of workers. The stated objective of the bill that will protect the privacy rights of Michigan workers and promote further growth for jobs provided as it relates to micro C hip and a cutting edge technology on the rise that increases workplace efficiency under the guise of, you know, convenience, right? It's always more expensive if you go to the convenience store than you go to the regular store, but the regular store is further away. But the convenience store is more easy, right? But their path, you know what I'm saying, is going to seem more, you know, easier to you. And that's the whole thing, you know, but it's always a greater price to pay. So it says with the technology increase over the years, as it continues to grow, right, knowledge will increase. Important Michigan job providers balance the interests of their company within their employees' expertise. Privacy. The micro C hip has been brought up in many conversations as companies across the country exploring cost-effective ways to increase workplace efficiency, aka reduce costs, cut your job, and kick your ass to the curb. While these miniature devices are on the rise, so are calls of workers to have their privacy protected. Is the words of Republican Breonna Taylor sponsoring these bills, because these are people that I guarantee people are small headers, or, you know, some type of heathen, right? Because they're consorting against the little ones, against the hidden ones, right? Psalms 83:3. Take crafty counsel that people consulted against our hidden ones. They have said, let us come up, cut them off from being a nation. The name of Israel be no longer in remembrance, for they have consulted together one consent. Their consent is the new world order. And ultimately, they're trying to do away with the seed of Israel, right? That's why they're trying to upset the prophecies with their different, you know, they've different attempts to upset the prophecies, man. Say they're the people, this and that, but ultimately they're just playing into the Lord's hands. It says they have consulted together one consent, and they are confederate against thee. All right, Tabernacle of Edom, Ishmaelites, Moab, Hagarenes, Gabal, Ammon, Amalek, Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre, right? All these people have maliciously planned agreements together to commit criminal, reprehensible acts against the children of Israel, plot, breathing together, conspiring in one consent, spirit, notion, and sound in unison to conspire against the children of Israel. And these are the reprehensible acts of these heathens, right? Which ultimately you have to understand is all the plan of the Lord. Why are these people like this? Why are they trying to kill everybody? Why are they trying to put technology in people and shit? The spirit in him is not upright. Right? So it says radio frequency identification tags, commonly referred to as micro C hips, are beginning to seep into the marketplace as new technological devices to help mainstream and streamline everyday business practices, aka no more cash. The chips, roughly the size of a grain of rice, are implemented into the hand of employees and act as a replacement for ID, badge, time cards, usernames, passwords, but sensitive security clearance information, even credit cards. The credit card Internet of Things, right? Despite this type of technology not quite making its way into our state yet, I wouldn't be surprised. These are words of this Kaylee woman, Breonna Taylor. Despite this type of technology not being quite in our state yet, I wouldn't be surprised if it becomes a standard business practice statewide within the next few years. Yeah, standard business practice, man. This is going to become standard business practice. This is during the pandemic, you know. We should absolutely take every step possible to get ahead of these devices. Under Kaylee's plan, Michigan employers will be able to utilize microchip, but could not mandate employees to have such devices implemented. Keyword mandate. See, with these devils, everything's like a legal war. Everything's a circumlocution. You know what I'm saying? You have to read the fine print and make sure you read it a few times, right? Because you make an agreement with this devil, and he turned back and say, "No, well, look at what this said right here. You signed your name right here, right?" So it says mandate employees under Kaylee's plan. Michigan employees would be able to utilize microchip, but could not mandate employees to have such device implemented. I mean, but eventually they will be able to mandate you, okay? Because it says Isaiah 10:1, grievousness which they have prescribed, man. Woe to you that decree unrighteous decrees and grievousness which you have prescribed, man. And these are grievous acts, draconian legislations, um, so on and so forth. So it says, Kaylee said the measure strikes as a good balance between protecting the rights, blah, 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 providing businesses with flexibility, increased efficiency. Ultimately, they want to cut out, really, this is all moving towards the cutting out of the cash and the removal of the middle class and all that, because it's just rich and poor, and everyone's going to have to go to take that CHIP if they want to continue to live their lives in normalcy. Right? However, research has shown that the RFID transponders cause cancer. Research has suggested 90% of Americans are uncomfortable with microchip, and mostly due to studies that suggest a link between the RFID transponders and cancer in lab animals, and made a plan to CHIP humans globally through digital ID was exposed in the Italian parliament during the pandemic, right? It says Sarah Cuniel, the member of parliament for Rome, denounced Bill Gates as a Maxine criminal and urged the Italian president to hand him over to the International Criminal Court for crimes against humanity. All right, but they're never gonna hand these people over because the criminal International Criminal Court are Masons, or they're pedophiles, and they run the trafficking rings all over the earth. That's why they never stop. That's why little Sarah go missing. She got blue eyes, blonde hair, and she looked like a little Charlotte Temple. They want her, and they want to traffic her and her brother because some Epstein nigga want her ass, or some dude from the International Criminal Court. They're the ones making the decisions and shit. They're the ones writing monetary policy and deciding international. You know what I'm saying? Who gets these contracts, and international policy is dictated by pedophiles, man. All right, and the Vatican, the religious sector, they're infiltrated with devils. This world is given into the hands of the wicked. Job 9:24. All right, the the vilest men are exalted. The vilest men walk on every side when the wicked are exalted. Psalm 7:15. So yeah, it says she exposed Bill Gates' agenda in India and Africa, along with the plans to see help the human race through digital identification program ID 2020, which ultimately, this is all they could put whatever name they want on these things, but it's all the um, it's all the fulfillment. Yeah, that's the word, fulfillment of Revelation 13th chapter. Okay, it says the truth is that the microchips are neither liberating nor far away. Several companies from around the world have already begun microchip employees and advertising the process as more convenient and safe. Not only are we being slowly encouraged to microchip and track our children through phones and tablet devices, and the media push of no safety through school shootings, concerts, venues, and sporting events that are constantly under the threat of terrorism, quote unquote, leaving you with the sense of no safety, ultimately into the hands of the corporate wicked elite and entering into an Orwellian world which no human has right to privacy at all for fear of the boogeyman, which ultimately is the same Orwellian government that has total power over all your life because you can never escape their watchful eyes through monitoring tracking through the Patriot Act, aka 9/11. And corporations know everything about us and control our purchasing habits. The only way out is to resist their intrusions at every turn. In their eyes, the only way out is the truth. Okay, because ultimately, this devil has been given the power. Revelation, the 6th chapter. Okay, to take peace from the earth, and he's bringing about his sword, right? So this is the world we're living in. Okay, so they're conspiring against the hidden ones, right? The little ones. So they're trying to hit you with a digital oath pursuant to Exodus, the 21st chapter. All right, they're trying to bore you through with an oil, in this case, in your right hand forehead. So it says, Job chapter 10 and verse 1, so my soul is weary of my life, and I will leave my complaint upon myself. I will speak in the bitterness of my soul. I will say unto the Most High, do not condemn me. Show me wherefore thou contendest with me. It is good unto thee that thou shouldst oppress, that thou shouldst despise the work of thy hands, and shine upon the counsel of the wicked. But the Lord is not going to shine upon the counsel of the wicked, because in read the 20th chapter it says the triumvirate or the triumvirate of the wicked, the winning, the victory of the wicked is short and but for a moment. It said Proverbs chapter 21 verse 7, the robbery of the wicked shall destroy them. Yeah, because Richard got by deceit. Kingdom translated one people to another. Sirach 10 and 8 on that. It said the robbery of the wicked shall destroy them because they refuse to do judgment. All right, the way of the man is forward and strange, but as for the pure, his work is right. It is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. In this world, they create a wide world, a wide house, but you got brawling ass bitches that are just, we're supposed to be called women or ladies, the young ladies. Well, in this society, it's better, that's why Scripture says it's better to dwell in the wilderness. It's better to dwell in a mean cottage than a delicate fare in a rich man's house, in this society, because you have to sell your soul. It says, verse 10, the soul of the wicked desireth evil. His neighbor findeth no favor in his eyes. Okay, in this world, you got to find favor by being wicked or selling your soul. All right. But anyways, hey, you got to find favor by taking a micro C-hip, man. All right, you see? So that's why they're pushing forth for all these manufacturing this year, right? We just read the first article. All this manufacturing of these plants, right? And they're striking these deals, man, and they're putting into law, that because you got to look at their laws, and what the courts is saying, and it's all in favor of this, That's why Elon Musk go out there and do these trials without any repercussions, man, because that's called a precedent. They're setting a precedent. Okay, Proverbs 11:21 and verse 12 says, the righteous man wisely considereth the house of the wicked. You look at what this devil is doing. You consider what your enemies are doing. You got to have respect for your enemies, all right? Because that's how you defeat them. Okay, you study Jake. They study Jake, man, and that's how they was able to defeat us through the Willie Lynch letter. You read the Willie Lynch letter, and they show you the systematic way they break down the so-called Negro male and the Negro female. We put the Negro female against the Negro male. And through the course of time, she will begin to hate her little one because of resentment towards the father. That's how it's worded, man. All right. And the Negro offspring shall hate the parents, and the cycle will be perpetual. Hey, that's how it's written, man. And You know, they try to talk about fiction and all that. No, that was actual. Well, that's the way that they did it. You know, or that they try to discredit any historical document that proves that we're the Israelites. You know, and these things are written in these scriptures. So, anyways, the righteous man consider it the house of the wicked. All right, they're looking at you, and you're supposed to be considering them. All right, because that's a tactician. There's warfare, spiritual warfare. It says we battle not against flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness in high places. Right, and these scriptures are the guide to war, the art of war. You know, we got all these best-selling books. The scriptures are the most best-selling book. That's why it says, "Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read." You know, Isaiah 34:16. And none shall want her mate, man. Right? So, anyways, yeah, shalom, bro. It says, but the Most High overthrow the wicked for their own wickedness. Whoso stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, he shall cry himself, but shall not be heard. This devil gonna cry with tears, right? Hebrews 12:16-17. But there's no place found repentance for him, right? His own tears, he stopped his ears at the cry of the poor. It said that the deaf adder that stopped his ear. All right, this devil is he don't care for the poor. You look at the poor in this society. All the cities, all major cities, San Diego, Baltimore, Dallas, New York, all these places got San Francisco, LA. All these places got major problems of homelessness. You know what I'm saying? Shelters, New York, you know, all these places, right? They got all kind of homelessness and stuff because Esau don't care for the poor. There shouldn't be no poor because you got people net worth $20 billion, you know, and you got individuals with nothing and pure debt, you know, because the society is it's uneven, it's unbalanced. You know, it's all for the top 1%. If you're a slime ball and a weasel, you could steal people's pensions, and you could do all kind of shit. You could run up your company Ponzi scheme and then run off with the money, make a deal with the government, run off with the money, become a billionaire. That's how a lot of these people do it. And this society is built off of this society is built up off slavery and bloodshed, anyways, man. So that's why they allow these kind of things. But anyways, that's why it says Psalms 140 and verse 1. It says, "Deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man." It's played violent, man. And that's why when you watch all these shows like Billions and shit like that, the billionaire, he's getting niggas killed and shit. He got private people that get people killed. All his like people, you know, like this is how this world works, man. You know, like even these jakes that become like they become mayors and they start doing shit. They're connected to the streets. But that's how they that's a dirty world, man. Yeah, with a lot of bloodshed, man. It says with verse 2, it says, which imagine mischiefs in their hearts continually are they gathered together for war against us, really. All right, because they consult against the hidden ones. Because the world doesn't acknowledge us as the Israelites. That's why it says that glory shall be seen. Isaiah 61. Your glory shall be acknowledged. Right now we're the hidden ones. You're not being acknowledged when you're hidden. Right? It says Isaiah 61:9. Their seed shall be known amongst the Gentiles, and their offspring amongst the people. All that see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed of the Most High. That they are the seed which the Lord, the Most High, Yahweh shall have blessed. Right? And I will greatly rejoice in the Lord. My soul shall be joyful in my power, for he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation, and he hath covered me with a robe of righteousness. When you read Ezekiel the 16th chapter, it says that the Lord he gonna deck us with the chains and with the crown, with the diadem, with the earring, and with the garments of salvation, and deck you with purple, you know, and again scarlet, silver, gold, you know, for For your dross and silver, I'll give you gold, right? So it says, as a bridegroom decketh himself with ornaments, as a bride adorning herself with jewels. For as the earth bringeth forth her bud, as the garden causeth things that sown into it to spring forth, so doth the Lord power cause righteousness and praise to spring forth before all the nations. All right, so but first you gotta resist pleasure. Scripture say, he that resist pleasure crown his life. All right, so with this microchip come pleasure. But the righteous man wisely consider the house of the wicked, and it says but the Most High will overthrow the wicked for their own wickedness. Right? It said Psalms 140 and verse 2, which imagine mischief, right, in their hearts. Let's be preserved from the violent man, evil man, which imagine mischief in their heart. Continually they are gathered together for war. Revelation 6 again. They're the red horse giving power to take peace from the earth. Continual war. They sharpen their tongue like a serpent. When they bring about legislation, like Michigan, talking about you could microchip people, that's a pierced tongue for war. As it says in Psalm 62, it says, where's that? Where's that? I'll close it. Psalm 64 and verse 1, it says, hear my voice, O Most High, my prayer, preserve my life from the fears of the enemy, and hide me from the secret counsels of the wicked, from the insurrection of the worker of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly do shoot at him, and they fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. That's what they're doing. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. Psalms 140 and verse 3 said, they sharpen their tongue like a serpent, added poison under their lips. Keep me from, O Lord, from the violent man, from the hands of the wicked, and preserve me from the violent man who has purpose to overthrow my goings. The proud have hid a snare for me, and they have spread a net by the wayside. They have set grins for me, or gins for me. Right? And I've said unto thee, O Lord, thou my power, hear the supplication of my voice. For thou the strength of my salvation, thou hast covered me on my head in the day of battle. Grant now, O Lord, the desire of the wicked. Further not his wicked device, wicked enterprise, lest they exalt themselves. All right, so that's it. That's how they're gonna fall. 2 Kings 2 and 2 Kings 18 verse 21. So like it says, now behold, thou trustest upon the staff of this bruised reed, even upon Egypt, on which if a man lean his hand, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh king of Egypt unto all that trust in him. That's right. So yeah, these are the wicked devices of the devil, which the majority of these Israelites don't teach. They don't. That's part of blowing the trumpet. It's you can know you're an Israelite and all that, but if you don't know prophecy states and what's to come, you don't know, then you have half the you have half the truth. You only know about the past but not the future. The world to come is for them that know all, both good and evil. Enter in at the straight gate, and the bitterness teach you how to enter into the straight gate, man. Ezekiel chapter 11 verse 2. Then he said unto me, son of man, these are the men that devise mischief and give wicked counsel in this city, which say it is not near, let us build houses. The city which is a cauldron, we be the flesh. So these are the it says, further not the wicked counsel, further not their wicked counsels. But, this was talking about something else, but I had pulled that one up. It says Psalms chapter 13 verse 1. How long wilt thou forget me, O Lord, forever? How long wilt thou hide thy face from me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily? How long shall my enemy be exalted over me? Yeah, how long shall these fucking devils be exalted over us, man? But it said, considering here, O Lord, my power, and light my eyes, lest I be sleep to sleep of death, lest my enemy say, I have prevailed against him, and those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved. But I have trusted in thy mercy, my heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. And I will sing unto the Lord because he have dealt bountifully with me. And the Lord's about to deal bountifully with us, man. I'm saying, for resisting pleasures. The scripture say, he that resists pleasures crown his life. The scripture say, let no man take that crown, right? Not even yourself. And especially not this fucking devil white man, all right? Who's an inferior creature. This devil, he's an inferior creature. All right, Sirach 19, verse 1, it says, a laboring man that is given to drunkenness shall not be made rich, right? You laboring, but you can't be given to drunkenness, right? The scripture say the inhabitants of the earth are made drunk with the philosophies of this whore, of this serpent. So if you given a drunkenness with this devil, you should not be made rich. And he that contemneth small things shall fall by little and little, little and little. This grain of rice, man, it's a little thing, right? They're gonna say, oh, it ain't nothing. The Lord knows my heart. Well, that little thing, you're gonna fall little by little, you know. He that contemneth small things shall fall little by little. Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away, right? Wine, women, wine likened unto the new wine, right? Some stumble at the new wine, you know. That is true. Right? It says in Matthew 9:16, it says the bottles that can't hold the new wine, man, and they end up bursting and you know, not able to hold on to that wine, right? Wine and women will make men of understanding fall away, right? Because ultimately this truth is a stumbling block unto the wicked. It says, and he that cleaveth to harlots will become impudent, right? The harlot, the ultimate mother of harlots, this beast, this hoe, will make your ass impudent. Okay, at the end, it says, moths and worms shall have him to heritage, and a bold man shall be taken away. He that is hasty to get credit is light-minded. He that sinneth shall offend against his own soul. Whoso taketh a pleasure in wickedness shall be condemned. Sirach 19:5. Whoso taketh pleasure in wickedness shall be condemned. But he that resists pleasure crown his life, man. All right. So you take pleasure in wickedness, you'll be condemned. All right. That's why it says you must purify your soul in obeying the truth. Well, to obey the truth, you got to be in the Lord Yahushai. He that is in the Lord Yahushai was worthy of no condemnation, right? Romans 8:1. So that the bloodline keeps you from your spirit from being into all this fucking wickedness, all right, of this world, that keep you pure, and the Lord able to deal with you and give you the strength to resist the micro C help and resist even onto the death, resist the pleasure of this world and the philosophies and all this bullshit, and able to retain the new wine or the oil. Okay, it says in Matthew 25, the oil that's in their lamps, the 5 wise virgins and 5 foolish. Romans chapter 8 verse 1, it says, there is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Yahushua, whoso walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. Right. So to be condemned means you take pleasure in wickedness. And our Lord was one that did not take pleasure in wickedness, for he resists pleasure, so he crowns his life. To be a Christian means you're a follower of the Lamb, of the Messiah, right? A follower of the Lord, the anointed one, right? Well, the Lord was one that was able to resist these pleasures as the example. So he'll give you the spirit. I will not leave you comfortless. He'll give you the spirit to resist said pleasures and crown your life at the end, right? Which it says in Hosea 4:1, it says, hear the word of the Lord, right? Faith comes by hearing the word of the Holy One. Say, ye children of Israel, for the Lord have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. The Lord have a controversy with you, meaning the Lord got a beef with you. He got a problem with the people because there is no truth. They don't believe in the truth. There's no mercy, no knowledge of the Most High in the land. There's no love in the heart of the city, like Billy Bland said. You know, there's no knowledge of the Most High in the land. If the people were knew the Lord, they will do better, right? It says, by swearing, lying, and killing, and stealing, and committing adultery, they break out, and blood touches blood. That's all you see in these cities. Niggas killing each other, lying, swearing, false, committing adultery. They break out, blood touches blood. And so people just in homicides, endless bloodshed. It said, therefore shall the Lord mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish with the beasts of the field or the fowls of heaven. Yet the fish of the sea shall be taken away. Yet no man strive, nor reprove another for thy people, are they that strive with the priests. Therefore shalt thou fall in the day, and the prophet shall also fall with thee in the night, and I will destroy thy mother. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. If you knew better, you do better, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no more priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. Instead of being a GD, your ass you're really a priest of the Lord. You're a nation of kings and priests. Instead of being a nigga or a rapper, entertainer, you're a son of the Most High. But the Lord said 144,000 will be awoken, and they will minister unto me. You know, they will teach unto my people. You know, so hence why it says, I will reveal my secret to the servant of the prophets. Hence why it says Revelation 7, 12,000 each tribe, 12 gates. Okay, so it says Hosea 12, 4 and 7. It says, as they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore, I will change their glory into shame. They eat up the sin of my people. They set their heart on their iniquity. They shall be like people like priests, and I will punish them for their ways and reward them for their doings. For they shall eat and not have enough. And they shall commit whoredoms and shall not increase, because they left off to take heed to the Lord. Whoredom and wine and new wine take away the heart. Yeah, these new ways of this world, new philosophy, new age bullshit, as it destroyed you as a people. My people ask counsel of their stocks. They take the micro here. They take the device. They take the jumpy. You know, they ask counsel at their stocks. They trust in the workers of iniquity. They hide. The Lord said, hide me from the secret counsel. King David said, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. Psalm 64 and 2. So like it. From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. That's who our people go to as counsel at their stocks, where they're exchanging business at. They go to their university. They go to be poured, their minds be seduced into believing in this American way. And ultimately, there are all these niggas that trust in this world, all these bankers and all these dudes that have sold out. All these people, they're all gonna take the C-hip, man, and they're gonna be destroyed because that's their destiny. Lord willing, it's our destiny to do the opposite, to trust in the Father and the Son. Because everyone has a destiny. Ephesians, the first chapter. That's the destiny. See, the Lord has a destiny for his people, for his elect. He said he will never abolish the posterity of his elect. That's why it says Revelation 14:4, who is thou judge another man's servant? Because we don't work for man, we work for the Father, right? So the Lord is the ultimate judge, right? The people, they'll make no account of your labors, but the Lord knows your heart. As he said, amongst men, there has been none greater than John the Baptist, right? But the people, they didn't hold John the Baptist in a high esteem. You know, the people didn't hold Stephen in a high esteem. They didn't hold Paul in a high esteem. They didn't hold the men of the Lord, Titus, and and all the, they wasn't out there as celebrities and shit. Their destiny was to know the mystery of the will of the Lord, and that makes you despised amongst the world, and that makes you a target. The scripture say, "He that depart from iniquity make himself a prey." So that makes you a prey to the world, right? So it says, Ephesians, the first chapter, we all have a destiny. The spirit of the prophet are subject unto the prophets, right? So everyone has their spirit is subject to their lot. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 9. Having made known unto us the mystery of his will. Amos 3 and 7. I will do nothing, but I will reveal my secret unto the servants of the prophets. According to his good pleasure, which hath purpose in himself, that in the dispensation and the fullness of times he might gather together all things in Yahushua, both which are in heaven, which are on the earth, even in him, in whom we have obtained an inheritance, being predestinated according to his purpose of him who worketh all things after the counsel of his own will, that we should be the praise of his glory, who first trusted in Yahushua. The ones that first trust in Yahushua are the ones that receive the strength and the will to resist pleasure that crown their life, that ultimately gets them deliverance on the chariots, which those are the men that did not bow the knee to the image of Baal, nor took his microsy hip, and avoided Revelation 16 and 2, the noisome and grievous sore pestilence, which the man that had the mark of beast had received upon them which worshipped his image. All right, so yeah, there goes. It says, verse 13, verse 12 says that we should be to the praise of his glory, who first trusted in Yahushua, while the world did not. Okay, for it's too bitter. It says 13 verse, is in whom ye also trusted after that ye heard the word of the truth, the gospel of your salvation. Not you were dunked in water and you got baptized and they held you down there for a minute and a half. You held your breath. No, you heard the word of truth and the gospel of your salvation, in whom after that you believed you were sealed with that Holy Spirit of promise, which is the earnest of our inheritance. All right, until the redemption of the purpose of possession, the earnest of our inheritance, man. The first thing we receive is the faith. It says, unto the praise of his glory, right? Okay, so Nahum, let me finish up with that, and then I'll probably get up out of there. Nahum chapter 1, verse Hosea 4 and 12, my bad. It said, my people ask at their stocks, and their staff declare unto them, for the spirit of whoredoms have caused them to err, and they have gone on whoring from under their power. When you take that micro C hip, forehead, right hand, you're going whoring from under your power. When you go to a church, when you eat pork, when you have sex with another man's wife, when you don't do the work of the Lord, when you don't believe in him, you don't pray. Okay, you go off. These are you going up from under the Lord your power. It says 13 verse. They sacrifice on top of the mountains and burn incense on the hills, under oaks, poplars, and elms, because the shadow thereof is good. Therefore your daughter shall commit whoredom. Therefore your women be hoes, and your spouse commit adultery. Yeah, so I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom, or your spouse when they commit adultery. Yeah, that's why people out here are able to do what they want to do. And nobody gets punished, because Habakkuk 1 and 4, the law is slack. Therefore wrong judgment proceedeth, right? For themselves are separated with whores, and they sacrifice with harlots. Therefore the people that doeth not understand shall fall. Though thou Israel play the harlot, yet let not Judah offend, and come ye unto Gilgal, neither go ye up to Beth Haven, nor swear the Lord liveth, for Israel backslideth as a backsliding heifer. Now the Lord will feed them as a lamb in a large place. Ephraim is joined to idols, let him alone. They drink is sour. They have committed whoredom continually. Her rulers with shame do love. Give ye, the wind have bound her in her wings, and they shall be ashamed because of their wicked sacrifices. Their sacrifices are wicked, right? So because of their sacrifices, they should be ashamed, man. Okay. Our people that imagine mischiefs against the Lord, which ultimately they conceive to get with this white man. The scripture say, if you think, if you lust in another man, a woman in your mind, you commit adultery, right? Well, these people have already, their heart has departed from the Lord. They already belong to this devil, and they're going to take this seat here. And at time, opportunity arises. So Nahum chapter 1 and verse 9, what do you imagine against the Lord? He will make an utter end of you. Affliction shall not rise up again the second time. For while they be folding together as thorns, while they are drunken as drunkards, they shall be devoured as stubble fully dry, not having the water. Right? John 7:38. He that have he that believeth on me, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. They're gonna be stubble, fully dry, drunken as drunkards, right? Folding as thorns. For there is one come out of thee that imagineth evil against the Lord, a wicked counselor. Verse 12. Thus saith the Lord, though they be quiet, and likewise many, yet shall they be cut down when he shall pass through. When the Lord visit this place, the scripture says, when the Lord touch the land, shall melt. It says, though I have afflicted thee, I will afflict thee no more. For now I will break his yoke from off thee, and I will burst thy bonds in sunder. And the Lord hath given us a commandment concerning thee, that no more of thy name be sown. Out of the house of thy gods will I cut out the graven image, and the molten image I will make thy grave for thy vow. Behold, upon the mountains, the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publisheth peace. O Judah, keep thy solemn feasts and perform thy vows, for the wicked shall no more pass through thee, for he is utterly cut off. All right, so this devil's going to be utterly cut off because he imagined mischief and wickedness against the children of Israel. Whoso touches you, touch the apple of my eye. So Psalm 64 and verse 1, preserve my life from fear of the Most High, for fear of the enemy, O Most High, in my prayer. Hide me from the counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who with their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. They shoot in secret at the perfect, the Israelites, and namely the elect of Israel, because that's the main target. That's the main threat. Okay, 2/3 not a threat. The perfect are the Israelites, the ones that wash, purified themselves in the waters. Okay. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. The commune of laying snares privily, who shall see them? They search out iniquity, they accomplish diligent search, both the heart, inward thought, and the heart of them is deep. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow, the missiles, suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, they tell upon themselves at every turn the corner. All that see them shall flee away. All men shall fear and shall declare the works of the Most High when he destroys this place. For they shall consider wisely his doings. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. Yeah, because if you upright in heart, the Lord ultimately will justify you. Okay, mark the perfect man, for the end of that man's peace. All right. Psalms 37:37. That's why it says that they shoot in secret at the perfect man, but suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter, so they're against the Israelites. Ultimately, the elect of Israel. But the Lord is going to hide us from the secret counsel of the wicked and from the insurrections of the workers of iniquity, man. His microsy hip, his plagues, his army, military, his troops, his his World War III, and ultimately the missiles, as Isaiah 26:20 gonna come into play, where the Lord's gonna beam up his chosen, translate them, and upgrade, the Lord willing. And saying, continue to the end. So with that, call him La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodesh. Double honors to the Prophet, great millstone, peace, salutations unto the elect. Shalom.